Ooh. Spooky season is upon us.
Yes.
Like real spooky.
Very.
Ooh. These are going to be some good stories today, my friends. All listener write-ins, all paranormal encounters from you guys out there listening.
It's the year of my first encounter.
It is.
I think that was this year.
Was it this year or last?
I don't know. The way time's been flying. It's
I know.
kind of scary.
I know. Do you want to tell everyone what it was?
I think I did on the show.
It was the bed one, right? Where you got
Yeah.
pulled down in bed?
Well,
Or like you felt something like yank your feet?
I more felt a violent swipe across the shins.
That's so weird.
And then, yeah, maybe the pull down a little, but no, I remember feeling the motion across, and then I kind of sat up. Whatever it was, it's the first time. Well, not the first time, because sometimes you have nightmares and you wake up and you kind of have to sit in your room and look around and make sure that's not reality. But this is one where it didn't feel like, oh, I just woke up from a nightmare. It was like that happened while I was sleeping or half asleep, and I sat up, and I remember just sitting up in bed and just staring for a while. It's weird. Weird.
It's scary. I know I was talking to Kaylin when she came on for our first spooky episode this season, and we were talking about like how our house has just kind of been acting up, and a lot of it started on the anniversary of the person who used to live there, their death. It was like the 30th anniversary. And then I started thinking about it, and our camera never acted up until I brought in the furniture from that other Hollywood actress that died. That's when our camera started really spotting someone in the kitchen.
Always.
And now it won't stop, and it'll track it like it's following someone.
Well, it doesn't feel random. It'll just be, we turn on that camera most often when we're away because it's just not on all the time, right? So it's on while we're away. There's not a lot of action at the house. The alarms are set. The cameras are set. So basically, we know the second anyone would come onto the property.
Yeah.
And still, all of a sudden, you'll get this. And at first, it was kind of shocking where you'd get the notification because it comes straight to the phone.
Yeah. And we're like, it's never happened before. Our camera's really accurate, so it doesn't feel like it's a false alarm.
And it's not motion detected. It's someone's been detected.
Someone. It's always someone.
And then the camera moves like it.
I know. It's tracking someone, which is so weird because we have this camera system. We've got Eufy, and like a lot of times when I can't tell what something is, it'll say like motion detected.
Yeah.
But this is literally saying someone. So it is finding a person in the frame, which is just so weird.
Which I'm glad it's not totally physical here right now person.
Yeah.
Because that would be equally, well, probably much more terrifying to have someone in your space.
Probably.
But yeah, I'm waiting for the times where it actually potentially will show an outline or something, because that's what makes these stories so wild.
Yeah, and a lot of the stories today did have some serious like physical encounters. You guys really showed up this year. I have 576 submissions from you guys in
we're
just
gonna do them all.
A couple weeks. We're going to be doing this episode here. We're going to be doing an episode on Patreon. And then we're going to be doing an episode on Father Knows. Father Knows is coming back. It's just been real hard to line up a time with me, Justin, my dad. My dad's been like traveling for the past 2 months. So
we were gone for months. Now he's gone. It's just like,
can't catch a break over there.
We had to get married at some point. We had to figure that out.
Yeah, that had to happen.
Bad timing.
Crazy timing. But without further ado, let's get into these spooky stories.
Let's do it.
Let's dive in.
We didn't introduce our friend.
Oh yeah, what are we calling him? He kind of looks like the demon dog from the Scooby-Doo movie.
What's that dog's name?
I don't know, but I feel like we should just call him Scooby. My little sister has a dog named Scooby. Maybe we can't steal that name. I don't know.
We'll sort it.
Yeah, Bones. Blinky. He blinks.
Yeah.
Blinky. I don't know. Guys, put in the comments, what do we name our dog? Our skeleton dog that is joining us in the studio now?
He's my friend.
Yeah.
He is.
Okay, so I am going to we're getting into it.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. So none of them have titles because they're coming from you guys. So every time we're just kind of getting into the story.
Number one.
My dad and his twin brother have always had what I can only describe as a spiritual connection. To what exactly, I'm not sure. My uncle has talked about seeing demonic faces, having prophetic dreams, and other strange, almost supernatural experiences. My dad believes in spirits too, though his encounters have always been less intense. Then, last May, something happened that really unsettled him. Now, this is not my story. This is the information and the photo my dad sent me. Though I have lived in that house, and yeah, it's got a weird vibe. It was around 2 or 3 in the morning when my stepmom went outside for a smoke. She heard a rustling sound near the patio and thought it might be a bear. Bears are pretty common in our area, and she's not afraid of them either. She's actually fought one off with a rake before. I know, I think she's crazy too. So she took out her phone and snapped a picture just to see what it was. What showed up in that photo wasn't a bear. When it was sent to me, I was shocked. It looked like a girl hanging, a shadowy shape with what looked like a head and limp arms with an outline of a rope. She came back inside crying, visibly shaken. My dad took one look at the photo, ran outside, and yelled into the night, quote, "You are not welcome here. I have enough women in my life." He wanted to make sure whatever it was knew it was not welcome and not invited into the home. Now, they haven't seen the shadowy figure since that night, but man, does that photo freak me out.
Is this like probably the low light situation where when you use low light, your phone can see things that your eyes probably can't pick up?
It absolutely can.
Just like when we do the pictures of the stars.
I know.
You know, stars, stars. But
I'm going to show you the picture.
Oh?
I have the picture. To be honest, I'm a little scared to download it on my computer because it just feels like I'm opening some dark energy.
No. That's why we got this guy. Our protector.
Our guard dog. This is the photo.
Oh, man. I guess it probably is one of those low light things.
Yeah.
Because like you would look over there and I'm imagining what she was seeing is just total darkness.
Yeah.
Oh, I see the figure. I see it.
Okay,
I see it.
For those listening, it is very clearly a figure and it's hovering off the ground. So you would assume it's hanging and like you can kind of see a rope and there's like a white long sleeve gown, almost looks like a robe.
Can we zoom?
It almost appears like you can see through it. So this looks like it's like there's a carport and it's like open. It's not like inside of a garage. It's like an outdoor carport.
Yeah.
But you can almost like see through it. Like it's just
like there's definitely trees. See the tall trees?
Trees in the back.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wait. So you can see through. We're not looking into a building. That's out beyond. It's interesting, the structures
It's
here.
almost like a carport.
Right.
You know, like a carport that you drive under or through. Kind of like we have.
So the figure is outside.
Yeah.
Just as far back as possible.
Or just like hanging from the carport. Like it looks like it's on this edge of the carport.
Yeah. I also, I find it kind of wild that the first reaction to rustling noises is a bear.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's crazy. Oh, it just must be a bear. Grab the rake.
A bear or like a deer. You
or
assume
a squirrel.
Animal.
Yeah, but think of all the rustling right now. Squirrels and raccoons around us.
Oh, God, we've got raccoons and skunks galore. You got to watch out for skunks in our neighborhood.
Skunks have been hiding, though. Where they been?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I would freak out if I saw this. I would absolutely freak out. Because it's like, you heard this noise, you heard all this rustling, you can't see, so you take a picture and your flash goes off and then that's when you see it. And it's like, it's almost more scary when you know something's there but you can't see it because then how do you protect yourself?
So
like, what do you do?
I have two thoughts in my mind.
Okay.
Well, first of all, I'm thinking, does it actually work when you say you're not welcome here?
I think some of them are respectful.
If something wants to come in, is it really going to respond? Is that like forceful? Like, is that like a command that a spirit
know.
has to follow? Very curious.
I think most spirits, like, I don't think they're inherently evil.
Sure.
I think most spirits are just kind of lost.
But you can direct them that way.
Yeah.
So I had two things. Either you close the door and you contemplate your existence for a moment, or you just run right back there towards it.
I'm not running anywhere near that.
But why
No
not,
chance.
right? Because either you're going to go in your house and be afraid all night, or you go after it like it's a bear with the rake.
Again, how can you fight something you don't see?
Well, if you run back there and there's nothing there,
You need spiritual weapons. You need like a person to come over and cleanse your
sage.
space.
So, but if you ran back there and you're moving your arms and you're all over where it was and there's nothing there, then do you go back in your house and sleep fine that night or no?
No, I don't think you can sleep fine after seeing something like that.
So we would do a staycation. We would go find a hotel.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a tough one. It's kind of hard because it's like you want to like say something to make it not come at you or come in your house or whatever. So him being like, I have enough women in my life.
I
Haha.
know. Hilarious. It's like joking with you're already becoming friends with the spirit.
I know, but what if that opens the door? Like directly confronting it opens the door for it to be able to like come attach itself to you. I don't know. It's super scary. I'm excited for you guys to see the photo and let us know what you
wild.
think.
Yeah, photo's crazy.
Photo is crazy, but we're moving on to this next one that has a video with it. Hi, THT fam. I wanted to share this story with you ever since I heard Alejandra share her experience a few years ago. I wouldn't say this is spooky, but my personal experience with the afterlife. So my dad passed away in March of 2023, very unexpectedly. He was truly my best friend, and we talked every day on the phone for our 2:30 phone call. My mother had recently moved out, and those calls turned into our quick check-in calls. Again, he was truly my best friend. He didn't answer my 2:30 call one day, and I immediately knew something was wrong. My best friend, who lived down the road, went to check on him, and they found him. We don't know what happened, but assume he passed away from a brain aneurysm. We couldn't afford an $8,000 autopsy to find anything else out. Fast forward to July of 2023. I was back at work and normal day-to-day life. When I was heading into work, I stopped at Dunkin'. Very important to note that I am a Starbucks girl. I never drink Dunkin', but for some reason, I wanted Dunkin' that day. I walk in to get my drink, and a song started playing from my dad's funeral. It was not a common song at all. It was Carefree Highway by Gordon Lightfoot, a Canadian folk artist. Not something you would hear in a Dunkin', LOL. That was really weird. My dad and I both drove Jeep Wranglers. It was kind of our thing. The next day, I go to meet with my boss, and there, beside my normal parking spot, is a Jeep Wrangler, the exact year and color of my dad's. His Jeep is a very unique color, and I had never seen another Jeep that color. It's not common. Later that day, I was driving home from work, and I was telling my best friend how all of this weird stuff was happening, and out of nowhere, this duck starts lighting up on my dash. I got me and my dad these ducks with fun hats for our Jeeps. I had never seen it light up before. The light had been broken the whole time I had it, but while I was telling my friend this story, it starts lighting up. At this point, I am so perplexed and tell my then boyfriend that it feels like my dad is trying to tell me something. Fast forward to that Saturday, I'm with my friend walking around downtown. She got a text message asking to pick something up from her job, so we started heading that way. I was talking to my mom on the way to my friend's work, telling my mom all of the weird stuff that happened that week, and she is also saying my dad was trying to tell me something. We get to my friend's work, and she tells me she wants to show me around her work. She worked at a stunning venue overlooking the mountains. We start walking around, and boom, my then boyfriend was proposing. We had been together for 8 years at that point, and he was also very close to my dad. of course, I say yes, and we do the whole engagement thing. We get in the car to head home, and my now husband, fiance at the time, tells me that he showed my dad the ring 2 weeks before he passed. When he showed my dad the ring, he said my dad teared up. My dad was one of the only people who knew my husband was going to propose. There is not a doubt in my mind that my dad wanted me to know that he was there and celebrating with me. I've had a few dreams of my dad that feel so lifelike, where he was talking to me, but nothing that complex has happened since. My husband and I got married 9/21/24, and I know my dad was with us. Also, happy 1-year anniversary. If you've lost someone close to you, I truly believe they are there with you, or at least watching over you. Thank you, THT fam. You helped me through a very difficult time in my life, and I even got to attend the live show in Charlotte.
Nice.
I
Wow.
was bawling the first time I read this story. Started crying again. It got cut. So here's the video, though. You ready?
Yeah,
I
sure.
have the video.
Okay.
And now, as I'm telling this story, recording myself, this is happening. Do you see this duck lighting up? Like, this is a duck that me and my dad had matching ones of. Like, I bought 4 of us those ducks. Me and my dad have that same duck, but his has a white hat. This duck has never lit up like this before. It obviously lights up, but the whole time I've had it, it's never lit up like this. Like, I don't know what's happening right now. Oh my God.
Okay, you're so cute. I don't know what's happening right now.
Well, so as you were first, reading the story, I was thinking, trying to tell you something. Like, what did you,
Could it possibly be?
because in the past it's been trying to warn you of like, oh my God, you would have been in that car accident, but you weren't, or blah, 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 like bad things. That's what my mind goes to. What are you trying to warn me of? Generally it's bad things.
Yeah.
And so then my mind was like, well, no, probably won't try to warn of bad things right now. It's just, I was waiting for the story to go really scary, dark, or something bad.
Yeah, no, we've got some of those. I mean, it happens.
But then I was like, well, maybe, my first gut reaction would be, they're just trying to show me that they're there / that there's something more, right? That this whole thing we debate our whole lives because no one knows for sure yes or no or what. Is there something after this? Nobody knows. But like the one thing my dad's always told me, and Jerry, got him on board now, is if there's something after, they will find a way that's undeniable to let me know. Not just like, oh, wait, that could have been my dad. Things like this, where it's like the same car, the song.
It was everything. It wasn't just one thing. It wasn't just like the song and Duncan randomly. It was everything. It was the song. It was the same Jeep in a random color. I'm envisioning like a lime green or a pumpkin orange, something that's not a common color. That. And then the duck that you've never seen light up. That's just on your dash. And like, we have the video. We watch the video. It's not like she's going down a bumpy road and it could be triggering this little duck to light up. Like,
I feel like it's been sitting there forever.
It's been sitting there forever. And it's like, that's such a Jeep thing. If you're like, why are they getting ducks for their Jeep? It's such a Jeep thing to do. I keep seeing people on TikTok giving ducks to Jeep owners that don't have ducks yet. It's a Jeep thing. I don't know.
That's cool.
But she's clearly like, I mean, not touching it, driving. Doesn't seem like there's anyone else in the car. Like, it really does seem like this is him sending a message. Just be like, hey, I'm here. And why that object? Well, because he had the same duck. He could have picked other objects. He could have moved something here. He could have moved something there. But
you might not notice, right?
No. And to literally, you're telling this story to your friend. And then all of a sudden, it starts happening as you talk about this story about, I've been noticing these things that like only would kind of be my dad.
Yeah.
And then bam, the duck lights up. Which that to me, like anytime a spirit can like move something or create like electrical stuff when there's no batteries or it doesn't work, that to me is like one of those like true signs. Like I really believe in that kind of stuff.
See, this is the stuff I would love to experience. I don't want the dark, scary paranormal. I
Yeah.
want the happy, blow your mind kind of paranormal where you're like, wait, because your mind naturally will try to explain every piece of this away. But when you're just hit with one after the other, because the song, right? If it had just been the song, you'd be like, oh, crazy, crazy coincidence. But, you could explain, you'd probably tell yourself, it's a coincidence. But then you're knocked with 1, 2, 3, and then to tie it all together with the proposal, which then there's a motive, there's a reason to be ever present and do all these things to make you notice.
Mm-hmm.
And when you first said it was a proposal, I was like, wait, he was trying to tip her off that she was going to get engaged? Like, he wouldn't want to ruin that. But no, he just wanted her to know
I'm there.
he was there to be a part of that because he was maybe the only person that was let in on it, or one of the only.
Yeah.
So it's just such a beautiful, full circle thing. But I was like, don't blow the engagement. Like, what? Like, you wouldn't ruin that.
No. I just, it's so beautiful. Like, such a beautiful way to get that sign and know he was there with you and like have that support from him there, because when you're so close with your parent and like they're your best friend and then they're gone for big moments like that in life, it can feel so heavy, and like you can almost then look at it where it's like, oh, I'm not even excited because like the person I want here to be excited with me is gone. Like, so to have that and like your day was so special because of all of that, it's really, really powerful. Really powerful.
I like that one. Let's stay on this train. This is good.
Okay, well, I have one that does talk about batteries, kind of electrical charges. So
nice segue there.
We'll kind of keep on this little train for a minute here. I've read through so many of these spooky stories, and there's one that I just want to like talk about for 2 seconds before we get into this actual story. But it was from someone writing in. They were like, yeah, I started investigating with some friends into this haunted place, and I can't even remember where it is. Again, I've read almost 500 of your stories, you guys. But they had like a cat ball that they would bring. And if you hit the cat ball, it would light up.
Mm-hmm.
And so they would bring that and like tell spirits like, hey, move the ball if you can. Because then they'd see it. It
would cool. Yeah,
light up.
Mm-hmm.
And you had to like actually physically like hit it to get a light up.
Sure.
And so she was in a room and sure enough was like, if you're there, move the ball. And it just got batted and like lit up.
Why don't we do this? Great opportunity.
I don't want to open the door, I don't think.
It's not open the door. It's just playing. Hit the ball.
I don't know. Let's get into this next one and see what you think.
Okay.
When my parents first moved into our family home, we had an unfinished basement. My mom was slowly renovating into a play area. My older brother was around 2 years old at the time that this took place, so we had many toys down there. One of the toys was a small motorized toy car and a small track. To make the car go around the track, it needed to be placed at the top of it. One night, around 3 a.m., my mom woke up to the sound of the toy car whirring around the track in the basement. She listened for a moment to make sure that she wasn't hearing things, but the sound of this toy car was very distinct because it also played music when the car went down the track. My mom woke up my dad to go to the basement and see, but he refused. So my mom went down there and turned on the light as the car was going around the track. She quickly grabbed the toy and ran upstairs. The next morning, she realized that the toy had no batteries inside for it to even work and do that. She immediately took the toy out to the trash and never bought another toy like that again. She still refuses to talk about the incident 23 years later because it scared her so much. My family and I still live in the same house where other paranormal experiences would happen every now and then.
Yeah, that is kind of a freak out, especially because it's in the basement, which the basement classically is the scariest place.
Always.
You
It's
know,
always the basement.
the shadow figure that chases you up the stairs every time you turn the light off.
Why is it the basement? Like, what is it about that?
I don't know. It's just kind of a scary place. There's big, scary things down there, like big, scary furnace and dark places, a lot of places to hide. And basements don't have really an escape a lot of times.
A
So
lot
I
of
feel,
times.
I don't know. I don't know why, but it's a lot of, maybe it comes from movies. Because even when
Yeah.
you're young, you remember the toaster movie and then the furnace in the basement, super scary.
Hmm.
That freaked me out forever. I never went in the furnace room. No chance. Not as a kid. That was the worst place to go. But
Yeah. The farm where I grew up was really, the basement was always super creepy too. Because there's an old potato cellar in the
Mhm.
barn. And my cat would always go and hide in there. So I'd always have to like go down to the basement and like find the cat. I'm like, sweetheart, come on out, sweetheart. And like,
would you rah?
no, I just
That'd be
like it was
hilarious.
always just so creepy having to go in there and like go over the potato wall and like scoop her out. And it's just
Oh.
like, it's so dark. There was not a light in there at the time. It was scary.
Someone could just rah.
I know.
Yeah. So I think if we heard that, yeah.
No, the fact that the dad didn't go down there too. No, you go, honey. Sir, that's your job. You get down there.
Well, because your mind would go, well, how could that happen? And it's either supernatural
Mhm.
or it's someone down there. I mean, just how creepy would that be? Someone
know.
sneaks into the house, goes downstairs and starts putting a car around a track to lure you. That's,
I know.
This is where we blur the lines between paranormal and true crime, but equally
Yeah.
as terrifying.
Yeah.
See, my reaction would not have been to throw the toy away. I would have started filming that damn thing. And then I would have set it back up and see if it happens again. As scary as that might be, but
I wouldn't want that
by
energy.
getting rid of the car, are you saying that it's whatever's making it move, is that attached to the car? Because whatever
I don't
hit the
think
ball and
so.
made the ball light up, the cat ball, isn't necessarily attached to the ball. So throwing the ball away doesn't get rid of whatever it is.
No, and clearly there were
So-
still more paranormal activities in the house. Like
Right,
experiences
so-
happened after.
So just leave it.
The car was just like the
vessel.
vessel that it used to communicate, but that thing's still down there. It's still in that basement.
I just feel
Not coming over to your
and
house.
Has anyone ever tried to stake out, like put
Ugh.
cameras out there and put cameras all around that track downstairs?
I don't
Or do
know.
the spirits get shy then? Do they only get filmed when they're not expecting it? Like that photo from the first one? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of times, like for me, if something like this happened, my first instinct wouldn't be to take out my phone and start recording. My first instinct would be, oh shit, get out of there, run. This is scary. Call Justin, call 911.
We'd probably be together.
My ghost thing didn't happen when we were together.
Yeah, that's true. That's
And like, I was so
that's bad.
scared. I didn't record. I literally just literally put my covers over my head and just sat there and I was like, this isn't real. This isn't real. Go to bed. Go to bed. This isn't real. It was so scary. And it's like, what do you do? Like, I could have called 911. Like, yeah, I hear voices and people walking up and down my hallway. And like, they would have came. But like, I would have then had to get out of bed to open the door for the police. And
Do you
that
see feet?
sound, I could hear the pitter patter of the feet
Bare feet?
on the tile floor.
Bare feet.
Well, because it was bare feet, because you know how bare feet sound on a tile floor? Yeah. And I could just hear him walking up and down
You saw a shadow?
the hallway. I saw the light flicker on and off from under my door.
And you were the only one there.
Only one there. I was the only one living there. Everything was locked.
They didn't
chain
come back
over
to
the
pick up
door.
something? Your roommate?
Nope. No one was living there. All of the doors had bars in
It's
them.
kind of a weird time. That was a weird time.
Yeah.
Like, that was just an interesting year for us.
It was.
Well, not like relationship wise,
No.
but just with you going to Palm Springs and
For one of my, if you don't know, I was an OT before this, and I had to go to Palm Springs for one of my internships, essentially, one of my clinical rotations, and it was just the weirdest experience. Like, literally, my hospital had a lockdown because there was a shooting. Like, it was just chaos every day.
But that house, was that the one? There was more than just that, right? That made you creeped out about that place?
Well, then it was like the door was unlocked. like to one of the other bedrooms. So a little while later, the landlord's nephew did move in. It was like a month after this experience happened, or weeks. I don't know at this point. I don't even remember. But he moved in and he had his room at the far end of the hallway. And my room was like at the beginning of the hallway because I had the primary bedroom. I had the big one.
Okay.
And so I was going down to the hallway like at the very end to do laundry. And he asked me, he's like, did you unlock that other bedroom door? And I was like, no. And he goes, weird. I got home today and it was unlocked. And after that first experience I had with hearing someone, I always checked the door handles. Like every time I would walk by the doors, I would like hit the handles on the way to make sure the rooms were locked. Because I was so creeped out. I'm like, I don't know. I got to make sure no one else is living in here with me that I don't know about. Because everyone had, by that point, heard stories of someone living in your walls or your attic and whatever. So I checked. I remember as I went to do the laundry, I checked that handle. Nope. It was locked. So I didn't open it. He didn't open it.
Like within hours of same day?
Yeah, because I'm like, I put my laundry in. I think I took a nap or got food, did something. And then like a little bit later, I had to move it to the dryer and like hang some stuff. I don't want any more interactions. No more interactions, especially.
What about the happy good ones?
We don't have any of those for a while.
No, I'm saying like in our lives.
Honestly, I'm okay. I'm okay. I feel content having what I've had.
Okay.
No more ghosts for me. But I'll read the stories every year here on Two Hot Takes. Okay, so this next one. Oh, they even give us a title.
Wow.
Thank you. This one is titled The Shadow Lady in the Hallway. I never believed in ghosts or spirits, not seriously anyways, until something happened to me in my early 20s. At the time, I'd just moved back to Southern California from college in Hawaii. My stepdad had a spare bedroom in his condo, so I moved in. It was a 2-story place, kind of a loft-style layout, kitchen and living room downstairs, then a staircase leading to a hallway with 3 bedrooms. From that upstairs hallway, you could look down into the living room, and from the living room, you could see anyone walking across the hall above. That layout becomes important in a second. My stepsister, 28, was already living there, renting one of the upstairs rooms. My stepdad had the other. I was 23 at the time and moved into the 3rd room. They had been living there for 5 years before I showed up. Anyways, during my first week there, I came home from work one day and walked into the kitchen to drop off a few groceries. I turned on the downstairs lights and was about to head upstairs when I saw what I swear looked like a woman's shadow walk across the upstairs hallway. It caught me off guard because the upstairs lights were off, but I could still see pretty clearly from the light downstairs. I assumed it was my stepsister, so I called up, "Raylene, is that you?" No response. I went upstairs and called for her again. Still nothing. I checked all the rooms and the bathrooms. No one was home. Weird, but I brushed it off. Maybe I was just seeing things. It was my first week there. A few nights later, it was super hot, and the AC vent in my room barely worked. So I started sleeping with my bedroom door open to the hallway, hoping some cooler air would flow in. Well, big mistake. That night, I was lying in bed, trying to sleep, lights off, when I saw her. A figure, the silhouette of a woman, walking down the hallway. No details, no face, just a dark outline in the dim light from downstairs. She wasn't rushing or doing anything scary, just walking slowly past my room. Still, I was frozen. Like a little kid, I pulled the covers over my head and barely slept at all. Been there. The next morning, I was like, nope, I need to say something. I brought it up to my stepdad and stepsister, kind of expecting them to laugh at me or tell me I imagined it, but they didn't. Instead, they both went, quote, "Oh, you finally saw her?" What? They told me they'd both seen her multiple times. According to them, she's harmless, never bothers anyone, and over the years, they just got used to her. My stepdad even said that he's lost things before, only to have them later show up neatly placed on the end of his bed. He believed she was returning them to him. I couldn't believe it. Like, I would have assumed they were messing with me, except I'd already had my own experience before I ever mentioned it, and I was completely alone at the time. After that, I started seeing her pretty regularly. Never threatening, just unsettling. It became less scary over time, but I never got comfortable with it. That eerie feeling never really went away. I ended up living there for about 1.5 years, but the constant sightings and that sense that I was never truly alone was ultimately what made me move out. I didn't believe in ghosts before this. Now, I definitely do.
So she's just chill. So Shadowy is just chill. She's just walking around doing her thing.
I guess.
She's just hanging out.
Hanging out. Clearly, like, tied to the place for some reason. Like, if something, a spirit and energy gets tied to a place, like, I always feel like something bad happened there, like the trauma bound them to it.
Yeah.
Or like, I feel mostly it's trauma. I'm curious what other reasons are. Like, if you are a spooky paranormal person and you're like, oh no, like my grandpa's hunting around and he's just like friendly ghost like Casper. Hey grandpa, haha. Like, I'd be curious if you guys like kind of have a reason why. Like, why wouldn't grandpa go to the other side? Was he waiting for grandma? Like, was he keeping an eye on everyone? And
or can they do both?
Yeah, ooh.
Right?
Do you have to
can you be on the other side and then go back and hang out? Which
yeah, can you have a day pass?
I really hope that's a thing because I'm so curious. I think I've said this before. What happens after I'm gone? Not in like the next year, but the next 10, 100, 1,000, 10 million years. I want to see what happens. Even if it's not even humans related.
Yeah.
I want to see the earth go into the sun eventually when the sun expands. I want to see if we get off the planet and expand beyond that. I want to see if there's any encounters with other life forms. I want to see us discover other life out there, even if it doesn't happen during my time. I want to see us solve gravity. I want to see us figure out the whole quantum
Gravity
world.
can be solved?
Anything can be solved.
How would you
If
solve
you master
gravity?
something, you can always can
what?
reverse
So we could
it.
just turn off gravity?
Well, you could use it to your advantage more. Just solving any of those big mysteries, dark matter, black holes, singularities. Are we inside a black? All of those big things.
I'm surprised we haven't sent stuff into black holes yet.
Well, you would just watch it go in. That's it. You would never actually see it cross. It would pause at the event horizon. It would slowly fade to a deep red. And then at some point it would just disappear.
But where does it go? We don't know.
It goes right in.
It could be a portal
no.
somewhere.
Well, sure. But it goes right in past that event horizon.
Let's just
but
start sending
us,
a bunch of stuff in there.
because the time slippage, the time warping is so strong right as you approach that event horizon, for us, it might as well freeze in place because its time is slowing down so much that ours is speeding up comparatively, and we would never see it truly fully cross. We would just see it disappear.
How close is the nearest black hole? Could we get there in a spaceship that we have built today?
It would take, even to our nearest star neighbor, the closest star to our sun.
Yeah.
With our current rockets, as powerful as they are the whole time, it would take 100,000 years to get there.
Yeah, we're not sending stuff in a black hole. Damn, I was really excited.
So that's my point though. I'm hoping that there's something more so that I can pop in and out and experience that. And maybe on the other side, you can walk up and down a hallway, like it's a hallway.
Yeah.
But yes, with this one, I don't know. I don't know if it's something bad. Do ghosts, can't they be invisible? Or,
I think so.
So does a ghost choose to have that presence that is visible and seen? Because they're clearly seeing it. It's not like she's tapping into some superhuman vision that can see ghost energy.
I feel like some people are more susceptible to seeing things, like kids. Kids is a great example.
And dogs.
Dogs. I also think spirits can present themselves. And I wonder if that's something they learn over time. Like they have to sit there and practice and like they're like screaming into the void, like, why can't you hear me? And then all of a sudden they can break through. Or I wonder if like they inherently already know it and can only present themselves in like times of someone being in extreme distress, like that. Oh God, we just talked about it on the Kaylin episode, but like the person that just like comes out to save you.
Where they like scream your name in your sleep as your house is burning down.
You hear it a lot, like firefighters.
Yeah.
There's always like the firefighter that like you get taken out of your house and it's burning and like you get taken out of your house by a firefighter and you come to and they're like, no one was on the scene yet. There's no firefighter that was there. Or like you hear it a lot when the Coast Guard rescues people and they're like, someone was with me. Someone was floating with me.
Yeah.
No one was there. It's just like that.
But does your mind, well, see, if you're physically moved, that's one thing, but does your mind also create that in, you know, the most dire situation as a means of survival?
The third man factor. When a person is saved by a perceived unseen presence, including a ghost, it is most often referred to as the third man factor or third person syndrome.
Wow.
Yeah, it falls under the umbrella of broader phenomenon. It is a very common thing. Explorers, climbers, shipwreck survivors. Yeah, guardian angel, ghost, spirit, provides comfort, guidance, encouragement during a life-threatening experience.
Which if someone physically, the third man carries you out of a burning house, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But if that, for lack of a better term, imaginary friend pops up just alongside of a very traumatic, crazy thing, then is that some sort of response that the brain has to help aid? I don't know. But I remember the one where the person screamed, like they heard their name, literally screamed at them, and they woke up, sat up, and it saved them from something. We had that story in the past.
Yes. Yeah, we did. That was on one of our earlier spooky episodes. I'm just going through my submission form and I'm trying to see if I do have any third man write-ins. And there is one write-in that does mention that phenomenon. It's my friend's story, but more about the third man experience. Me and my friends all live on the same street. One of my friends had a fun place to hang out. Think pool table, bar, card games, etc. Well, I wasn't there. I was working, but my friends were all drinking and hanging out. Two guys, we'll call Adam and Randy, and one girl, Annie. Annie wasn't feeling well and went home across the street. When Annie wants to call Randy home, they're married, she'll whistle very distinctly to get Randy's attention. Adam and Randy were still hanging out and heard the whistle. Adam goes to walk Randy home. We always walk someone home, especially at night. And when they went inside, Annie was unconscious and having a seizure on the ground. Ambulances were called. Annie is okay now. She had alcohol poisoning and had a seizure because of it. She swears up and down that she did not do the whistle to bring the boys over, but they only went home because they heard the whistle. It had to have been a guardian angel.
Wow. That's wild.
Very. And that's not the only guardian angel story I have. We're gonna
one just so off topic thing about that. So
Yeah.
if the one guy walks the other guy home, who walks the other guy?
Why was that my exact thought? Exact thought.
Because at least he's going home to someone. This guy's going to go home alone is what I'm perceiving.
Yeah,
But-
I'm not sure.
Super random thing
Maybe
to take
he
from that.
had a flashlight and the other guy didn't.
Oh, sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's
I
it.
do think there's moments of guardian angels, and this next story kind of touches on it a little bit.
It's also awesome, the whistle thing.
We have a family whistle as well.
But like the classic, back in the day when parents would, there's a bunch of different things, right? A bell or
Yeah.
certain shout or maybe a whistle. Your mom's would have been a whistle 100%.
Oh yeah, she whistled.
Oh, she did that with the horses when we were just home right next to me.
Yeah.
And I wasn't expecting it. And I turned towards her and I must have given her the worst look. And she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." Because
I know. She
of
can
how
do the whistle
sensitive-
where it's like, and it's like with your fingers, and it just like, it's a blast of a whistle. Like,
Oh, yeah.
you can't be next
It
to
went
it.
straight to the eardrum, and I just turned and I looked at her. Oh, I was so mad.
Oh, I can just feel it. I can feel it. Okay, so this next one. When I was 14, I broke curfew. I was walking home alone around midnight-ish, and the only person out was my neighbor. He sat on his stoop, and when I said hi, he just looked at me in an odd way, almost confused, and just waved. I figured that the confused look was because I was out so late. The following afternoon, I walked into the living room, and my mom started questioning me like a crazy person. Quote, "What the hell are you doing coming in so late, and who was that man that walked you home?" I asked, "What man?" Surprised because I walked home alone and there was only one person outside when I was walking. "Don't play stupid," she said. Quote, "Mom, I swear, I walked home by myself. You can ask blank, childhood friend." I begged her to believe me because I was telling the truth. She questioned me further. Quote, "Well, blank," neighbor that was sitting on a stoop, "told me you were walking down the street with a white man with a top hat and suspenders on." She continued to scold me, and I was not listening because she sounded absolutely insane at that point. We lived in an almost all-black neighborhood that was not the safest to outsiders. Why the hell would I be walking down the street with a white man dressed like he was from the 60s? I stopped her rant. "Mom, do you hear yourself? You sound crazy. I promise I was not hanging out with an old white dude." We laughed at the notion and moved on with our day. Later that day, I was walking down the same street, and the neighbor that was on his stoop asked me, quote, "Who was the white dude that walked you home last night?" I answered, "Why'd you tell my mom that? You got me yelled at, you weirdo." I snapped at him and kept walking. He yelled after me, "You the weirdo, hanging out with old white dudes and shit." I just kept walking on my way to my friend's house, not thinking anything about his nonsense anymore. I never thought of it again until years later. I was in my mid-20s, and I was telling an older lady that I worked with the bizarre story, and she said, quote, "Watch yourself around that man. He means to harm you. Your guardian angel seems to have revealed himself to him." I looked at her quizzically. "What do you mean?" I asked the older lady. She told me that your angel will reveal itself to protect you from people that want to bring you harm. If only your neighbor could see him, it was because he would have harmed you or he wanted to. I sat there frozen, scared stiff. That neighbor was always chill. She then said, "A wolf in sheep's clothing." I have been terrified of that guy since that day, and I avoid him the best I can. Jumping forward a few years, I was in my early 30s, and my great aunt was talking about her grandfather, who would have been my great-great-grandfather. She talked about how nice he was and showed me a picture of her very white grandfather. I was not shocked at all because our family is very much a melting pot, but what did surprise me was her next memory of him. Quote, "My grandfather always wore suspenders and never left the house without his top hat." I nearly shit myself. The end.
I mean, all these just leave you without words. It's just so fun to hear. I mean, wow, I did not see the neighbor as being the whatever the
bad guy?
Yeah, the bad guy. Yeah. I was
The
trying to think
creep?
of the big term, protagonist or
Oh,
is that what
the
it is?
villain?
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I did not see that. This is where my mind goes instantly to, if this were only during a time of Ring doorbell cameras and these types of things. But just for them to be able to say, "See, look, Mom, I was by myself."
I know,
And
to have that
then-
proof.
But then even with that, the guy, it's just so, because then the guy went and told the mom, because she didn't see. She didn't see that they'd walk up with someone. It's
No,
all word of mouth.
It's all
right?
from that one guy, which then just bleeds into that lady's story of like,
Yeah.
your guardian angel revealed himself to the guy on the porch because if he wouldn't have, the guy on the porch might have harmed you, might have scooped you up into his house that night. I mean, it just reminds me of that story, Lovely Bones. Did you ever see that movie?
Mm-mm.
Really dark, sad movie. But this girl is like kidnapped and murdered, and her spirit tries to show her dad signs to help solve her murder, essentially.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like that, where it's just like she was like doing things like would kill a rose right in front of real time, like just kill a rose.
Yeah.
When the guy was talking to her dad. It was just like, it was a crazy movie, but it just reminds me of that, where it's just like spirits can like do things in order to protect others. I need to watch The Lovely Bones again. I could be getting this totally wrong, but it's just like, it's so crazy that like to think about your ancestors protecting you. And I know in a lot of like other religions, ancestors are a lot more not worshipped, but like remembered. Obviously, you have Day of the Dead, where, you know, you have your ofrenda and you have all of your family's pictures on it, and you know, make all of this food and pan and bread and all of this stuff for the ofrenda to remember your family. And like, there's just kind of this like culture of like really respecting the dead and like having your whole family watch over you. I think that's like, it's kind of like Mulan, and like, I'm not that familiar with Chinese culture and like what is practiced with that, but like all of her ancestors were like around in the temple, and that could be a Mulan thing, but that also could be taken from some culture, but not familiar. I'd love to hear about any cultures where like ancestors are your guardians, or like just like kind of this vibe.
Yeah,
Crazy
which
to
is
me.
a cool thing, because generally you, the generation below you, maybe 3 generations below you, have the opportunity to actually know you. Or 4. Well, 3 below you, so 4
Yeah.
total. And then after you move past kind of that 5th, 6th generation, basically what I'm saying is once the people who knew you the best start to age out, you kind of disappear into nothingness, because there's no one that has direct memories of you unless you're some famous person, or there's movies that you're in or something like that.
But even those, it fades. I mean,
it does.
I think that's why Coco was so sad. Like when I watched Coco, I made the mistake of watching it on a plane, and wow, I was crushed when he starts like flickering in and out, because no one remembers him anymore.
Right.
The last person that remembered him was losing her memory.
Right.
And then you're just forgotten.
Right.
Which is why I really love like the idea of an ofrenda.
Right. That's what I was leading to.
Yeah.
I think it's cool.
It's so cool.
Just because it's,
I want to start doing it.
well, and then, you know, there's such a curiosity of where did I come from? You know, even with just the DNA stuff.
Yeah.
Where did my ancestors live?
What's everyone's story?
Where did they, you know, all of that. And it just, you wish you would know more, and you wish people would keep track of that better.
Yeah.
To know, oh, this is where, even if it's great times 10, your great, all the way up, this is what your great times 10 grandfather, whatever, did.
Yeah.
It'd be fascinating. But it's so hard to find that if someone hasn't actively kept track of it. So that's why it's so cool, you know, with that sort of remembrance and keeping track.
I know. I was really fortunate. I got to live with my great grandma growing up until she passed, and it was just so special. So like I was super close with her, and like who gets to say that? Like they were close with their great grandma, but like even my memories, like I remember her, but I don't remember any stories of her talking about her parents or anyone. So it's like that generation is already lost to me.
Well, and there wasn't
That's
ways
as far
to
as I go.
document that as easy as today, you know?
Photos, I mean, there's some photos, but my great grandma actually kept very well kept journals. Like
cool.
She would write daily. And my grandma, her sister, my mom, my aunt, like a lot of people have read these journals.
Yeah.
I guess they're like really, they just show like how tough she was and like everything she put up with like her husband, who wasn't necessarily the best, and
Yeah.
just like kept the family together and like worked so hard on the farm. And I really want to read them, but I'm like, what if I discover a secret I don't want to know?
No, but what's so cool about that is like the farm is such a special place, right?
Mhm.
Imagine her writing in something, well, we had the barn was rebuilt last week and it's going up. Imagine seeing that.
I know.
It's like locked in time. It's time traveling.
I know.
To go back and read something that's specific to something that still exists and a place that still exists and is special to you, that would be incredible. Went up and blah, blah, in the field today, planted this tree, and sure enough, there's the 100-some-year-old tree. Can you imagine that? Crazy.
It's wild.
Well, there's such a wealth of information and experience that's lost with that too.
I know.
Like when you get to an age, I don't know whether it starts in your 20s, once you hit 30s, when you start getting curious about your parents' lives, when you start getting curious about your grandparents' lives, when they tell stories now at this age, it's like the coolest thing ever.
I know. I recorded my grandma. Like I asked her a bunch of questions and recorded her. I still need to edit it and put it together.
I have it backed up on like 5 drives.
I know. I'm just like, it's just so important to not lose. But doing stuff like that with your family, it's so special. But okay.
Because when you don't have that opportunity, you'll regret it. You'll regret that you didn't do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So if you do get the opportunity, do it.
Well, and to show your kids who maybe didn't get the opportunity, or your kids' kids who didn't get the opportunity, to see that would be crazy. It's just, we're on the first end of the generations that have had the capability to take very easily a high quality video and recording of someone in real time.
Absolutely.
That then you can save and show down the road. I mean, that's why this is another random thing, but it's a great tip for everyone listening. If you get a little bit into VR, now that your phone can shoot it, when you shoot VR content and then you watch it back on a VR headset, it feels like you are there in that moment.
Yeah.
Way more than holding your phone and videotaping in that moment.
You're
because
in
it allows you to literally sit there and you're not bound by what the person with the camera does. You can look around and they're there 3D right in front of you.
Yeah.
To experience someone like that is way different than an old photograph or this or that. It is mind-blowing.
Yeah,
if more
it's really
people
cool.
understood the power of that, I think more people would take advantage of it. So if you're curious, look into it, because when you watch those videos back, you're just like, wow, I can't wait to show this to my kids one day.
Maybe Justin will make you guys a video on how to do that on your phone and how to do it in a headset once you do it on your phone. I don't know what that all entails, because I'm not that tech savvy. So maybe you'll do that for everyone.
Sure, maybe even a headset giveaway.
Oh, there you go.
Because I upgraded.
Hey. But we're going to move on to this next story. This is going to be a little different than the rest of the episode, because it's time for a special segment called Hidden Gem, brought to you by Depop. Okay, you'll see why I picked this one. And it is spooky, you guys. It fits into today's theme. Has anyone experienced missing items in their home reappearing in odd places? Last week, I was cleaning up my apartment before I had guests over for the weekend. I was in the bathroom, removing all of the clutter off the sink, when I saw the jewelry I'd left. A necklace, and oddly, one earring. I was upset and stressed that the other earring was missing, because I know I had left a set of earrings in the corner of the counter. So I continued cleaning off the sink, assuming the missing earring must have fallen down into the sink by mistake. I took a break and looked for a solid 10 minutes in the bathroom, looking for the missing earring in case it might have fallen on the floor. I looked everywhere on the floor and nothing. So I had taken the extra washcloths out of the cupboard underneath the sink and placed them on the floor to make room for the new clean towels that I was going to place in there. I left the bathroom for 5 minutes to go into the living room and fold the new towels. After I folded them, I went back into the bathroom, knelt down, and placed them in the cupboard. I go to grab the extra washcloths. The strangest thing was, the missing earring was placed perfectly on one of the extra washcloths. It looked as if someone deliberately had placed the missing earring on the center of the cloth. I was freaked out because I live alone and it just doesn't make any sense why the earring would just appear out of nowhere, even though I searched high and low for it. Anyways, anyone ever experienced something like that? I wonder if the myth of fairies or house gnomes is real. Could it have been a ghost or a glitch in reality? It truly feels as if someone had given it back to me once they realized I was stressed out, it was lost.
Yeah, especially after really searching.
I joke about this all the time. Like, I feel like I have a black hole that's following me, but this feels like a ghost actually helped her bring that earring back to her.
I mean, the problem is your stuff never comes back.
Yeah, that is a problem for me. But that's literally why I then go on Depop and search for items that I want to get again.
Sure. I think, it can't be a person because I'm assuming this is all happening inside your head. Like, oh, the earring's gone. Like, you live alone. I guess some people might talk out loud. Like, my earring's gone. I'm going to search for it. Almost like then someone would be like, ooh, I'm going to go place the earring.
But who would it be? Someone living in the wall?
It wouldn't, right? It wouldn't. But your mind instantly goes there to like, wait, how did that get there? And it kind of freaks you out, like she said.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it looks like it was placed there, displayed. Not, I'm trying to think logically. How could it have like not been seen and then fallen? But really for it to have fallen on and she had just placed that there.
Just put it there.
So she would have looked at them
and
noticed if that was there. So when she places them down, we have to assume nothing's there. And then you come back and it's like, yeah, I don't know. It's like a friendly ghost.
I don't know. I feel like this is a ghost thing to do. Like the story we just read about the girl who moved back in with her dad and stepsister or sister. And literally the dad was like, yeah, my ghost like brings stuff back to me. I just saw a TikTok about this. A girl was like getting in her shower and she took off her wedding ring and heard it bounce. Like it bounced in her shower and went down the drain. And she heard it. She starts like trying to get it back. She can see it. She's trying to like scoop it out. As she scoops it out, like she pushes it further down. They call a plumber over. Plumber tries to come and get it. Doesn't work. It ends up like going down. The plumber's like, it's gone. Sure enough, like a couple days later or something, her ring is sitting there on the counter in the bathroom. And she says, I have ghosts in my house. The ghosts brought this back. Otherwise, how? Explain how that ring got back there.
See, but the problem is it's like horrifying, but also really cool.
I would love a ghost. This is the one exception. If I could have a ghost come back into my life and find all those hidden little things that I've been missing, that would make my day.
A ghost sidekick.
Make my year. Like Casper, but like really, I'd take Casper. Cute little thing, just happy, friendly ghost.
But you're like a team.
Yeah.
You got your sidekick and they, do ghost things for you.
Sure, if it's Casper and he's friendly and cute like that.
Because at
let's
first,
go.
with that last one, I was going to be like, bouncing. Yeah, it could have, I don't know. But she saw it in the drain. And you have to assume the plumber would have seen it in the drain. Otherwise, they wouldn't have
like snake
gone through the whole process. So, yeah, man, that's, I don't know. It's ghosts.
It's a ghost. It's gotta be. And I feel like I've had listener write-ins, with similar stories like this in the past where ghosts have turned up objects they've been missing. I'm so curious if you guys out there have had a ghost bring something back for you in your house. I've read another story from someone on the listener write-ins that their ghost kept hiding things, like a random kitchen knife would get hidden and just like random obscure objects. And then all of a sudden it would just like turn up in the medicine cabinet.
See, that's weird.
Yeah.
Like that's not helpful.
No,
that's just messing with you.
Yeah, that was a little dicey of that ghost.
Man.
Our ghost has not done anything like this so far. Our ghost does seem pretty chill. Pretty chill.
We're homies.
Yeah.
Except for the
leg
shit.
swipe. Yeah, dude. I'll never get over that. There is another story on this that says Interesting story that I probably had 5 years back was living in a dorm room my freshman year of college with a couple of buddies of mine, and we were planning on going to a store. So I go to grab my wallet off my nightstand where I always kept it and noticed it wasn't there. I told them to leave without me. I searched for a solid 2 hours while they were gone with no luck. They come back, and the three of us searched for another hour in a 10 by 10 room and couldn't find it. 2 days later, in the middle of the night, I have a dream about my wallet falling from the ceiling and hitting me in the chest. I wake up, and there was my wallet laying on my chest.
So it's like a dream, but it's not a dream. You know, that's what's weird about this stuff.
It's got to be a helpful ghost bringing back all these little hidden items.
But what's funny about that one is they didn't wake up and it was just sitting on the nightstand.
No,
it was like
which, like, how would it get there? Like, they don't mention being a sleepwalker. They don't mention anything of that sort.
No.
I don't think it was a roommate playing a trick on them. Like, that is giving purely paranormal to me.
The roommate trick would be leaving it on the nightstand to mess with them. But and it was also half a dream.
I know.
So if you dreamt it and it was happening in reality, we're in somewhere in between reality and, I don't know, multi-dimension. I don't know what it is.
Dude, the
I don't
astral
know
projection of it all.
where the ghost land is, where the ghosts exist in the realm of reality. But they can do very real things.
Yeah, like
and
find
good things.
all the little hidden gems.
So
that
one, it's
missing.
like, did they find their missing wallet, or did they take it and put it back? They mess with them.
I'm going with option B. I think some of these spirits are little tricksters. But that is all for our hidden gem, brought to you guys by Depop. Just like these stories, sometimes the brightest treasures are the ones you don't expect. It's those kinds of hidden gems that make Depop so special. Beyond the trends and the hype, it's about sharing those unique pieces that truly stand out and deserve a second life, a second chance to be worn by someone. Or you could just be on the look for an item, maybe one that went missing and you don't have a ghost to help you find it. Maybe it's on Depop. So download Depop to start selling today, where taste recognizes taste. But moving along. Thanks, Depop. Okay, this next one. We live in a house that is exactly 100 years old, and we are the third owners. There were the builders and farmers in the 1920s, the second owners from 1970 to 2022, and then my husband and I from 2022 until now. We have seen our ghost and believe it is a nice spirit. Here's what we've been able to gather from the neighbors. The second owners bought the house as soon as they got married. They had 7 children in the home, plus themselves. Right after their 7th baby was born, the father passed away. We've heard some conflicting stories about what exactly happened, such as he fell off a ladder or had a stroke, but we know that it was an injury at the home and he passed away sometime in the 1980s. Now for our experience. Shortly after moving into the house, we got Blink cameras. We would notice that the backyard and side yard cameras would go off during the night, but we didn't have the recording feature yet. Well, we got them, and one night we got the same backyard notification. You can clearly see a man walking from the garage to the side of the yard, which has a side door into our house. Video attached. We have had many, many experiences with our ghost. They mostly occur right before we go to sleep, specifically if we forget to do something before we go to sleep. Usually, as we go up the stairs, my husband and I will see a shadow or a figure of a man standing in our downstairs entryway. Every time we see the man in our entryway, without a doubt, something has been unlocked or unclosed. Sometimes it's the garage side door. Sometimes it's the side door for the house is left open or unlocked. Sometimes we left the window open or the front door unlocked. Anytime something is open, my husband or I will catch a glimpse of what we know as the previous owner of the home. It's sweet, almost like he's protecting us and his home. Not scary, but comforting.
No way. This is me as a ghost.
Really?
This is me.
Oh my gosh.
The way I try and take care of things and make sure everything's set before I go to bed. I've done that my whole life.
Yeah.
Even when I was a kid, I'd be checking the doors and things like that. Make sure the faucet, no water's running. Make sure, anything outside is put away or off. I don't know. I've had that. And obviously I still do it every night. Some nights I'll be just about to fall asleep. I'll sit up out of bed. You know this.
Yeah.
And I'll walk out. I'll go and I'll have to lock my car. And sure enough, it would have been unlocked.
You know what you've been really bad at doing lately? Why don't you tell everyone what you've been really bad about doing
Maybe we need
lately?
this guy to stop by our house then.
Honestly, our ghost has not been helping us in this regard.
No.
Tell everyone what you've been doing, Justin. What have you been really bad at
You
lately?
make it sound like it's happened 100 times.
It has happened at least 3 times a week for quite some time now.
A week?
Yeah.
No,
It's happened literally 4 times in the last week we've been home.
no, that's exaggerating. Yeah.
Happened the night we got back from the airport from our honeymoon. Happened last night.
2 times in like the last 3-4
No,
weeks?
no. It's at least 3 or 4 times. Tell everyone what you've been doing.
No, not after it's been so poorly, represented here.
Justin will get home, use his keys to unlock the door, and then come in the house and shut the door. What he doesn't do is pull his keys out of the door. So just anyone could just walk up to the sidewalk and just whoop, turn the key and come in our house.
Or just take the car.
Take
Go
the
for it.
car. Yeah, his car keys are also attached to the house key.
I mean, it shows we live in a pretty safe place because, they've been out there all night sometimes.
Yeah, we
Car's
haven't
still
been
there.
murdered yet.
Door doesn't open. Everything's good. It's like a test.
You need to stop doing this. That's bad.
It's like a test.
It's bad. Okay, so I'm going to show you the video of this ghost. It is a little difficult to see, okay?
Yeah.
I had to watch a few times to get it. But watch in this left-hand corner of the video,
Sure.
and you will kind of see I'm going to let you watch. Do you see it there?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
You have to really, all of a sudden it just pops up. It literally appears out of thin air.
Yeah.
And you can see legs walking.
Yeah.
It's just a shadow.
Uh-huh.
Like an opaque. Is opaque solid? What's see-through?
Opaque, yeah.
No.
'Cause it relates to opacity.
But opaque is solid, I thought. It's clear. You can kind of see through it. The shadowy figure. But you can clearly see the footsteps of him just
Moving.
walking
Really
into the house.
just making sure. But it's just so crazy. I've never seen myself in a ghost before. And I feel like that's what I'd be doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be
Feel
walking around making
represented?
sure everything's locked down and everything's right. Because it's so ingrained in me. And I feel like me and him have this in common.
Okay.
Because I've just done it forever.
Yeah, no, I mean, that is a really nice thing. Oh, something's unlocked, windows open. People get kidnapped out of their houses through cut window screens. So to have a ghost that's constantly be hey, lock up, bitches.
When he's kind of watching over.
Yeah, no, that's really nice. But it would still really freak me out to be walking up your stairs and you kind of glance down and you have a shadowy figure in the foyer.
That's a nightmare, just standing there.
Yeah.
Like you forgot something.
Yeah, no.
But the first time you'd see it, it'd be oh my God, I'm going to die.
Yeah.
I'm about to die.
Oh, yeah, someone's in my house.
But the second
They're
time,
coming.
or now when they see it, it's they
it's
probably
just our
look at
buddy.
each other and be like, did
Just-
you leave that door unlocked?
Just Fred down
Which
there.
then to have that be the consistent thing that when they see him, something is off every time. The door, the lock, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild.
I know.
That's so cool. I'm kind of jealous.
Yeah.
Because then I wouldn't have to run through my mind every night as I'm literally falling asleep. Are the cars locked? Is this locked? Is that? Are the keys on the door?
If our ghost is listening, you can let Justin know and not me. Thank you.
But not with the legs thing. Okay?
Yeah. Don't swipe his legs again. Don't do that.
Maybe that wasn't our ghost, but it was a bad ghost and she took him out.
Our ghost took the bad ghost out?
Yeah.
I hope so. We definitely need to cleanse our new house. We got a new house. We're moving soon. We need to cleanse that thing because there's some energy there. Not good
Some
energy.
Palm Springs energy.
There's some dark vibes in that
followed you.
house. Just no, it didn't. But okay, we're moving on to this next one.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, I heard you wanted to hear about scary experiences for spooky season, so I figured this story was scary enough. To preface this situation, I am a 30-year-old female firefighter who has been seeing spirits and the dead my whole life. It's not an uncommon thing for me to see or experience things that others can't, and I usually don't react to it much anymore, besides telling the spirits to leave me be or giving them answers so they can sort themselves out, which leads to this experience. It was the final night of our entry-level fire class, and we were on our way home from the college campus in our trucks when we got a page for an MVA versus motorcycle on one of our local highways. MVA, motor vehicle accident versus motorcycle. To save you from details, know that it was a horrible accident, and unfortunately, the motorcyclist didn't make it, which is where my experience begins. I was told by one of my officers to stay put in the truck. After all, we had only just been checked off on entry level, and we weren't equipped to handle a situation as dire as this one. So those who knew CPR were pulled forward. The rest of us stayed as told. While they were doing everything they could, I was in the back of the truck experiencing the tether to this person's life literally cut. I felt like a thread being pulled from my chest and snipped. Shortly after I felt this, we were called out of the truck, and that's when things got ... crazy. I was standing next to the truck when I finally heard and felt this man standing over his body. He was yelling at everyone, asking why nobody was answering him and what was going on, until I saw him turn to me, point, and tell me that he knew I could hear him. So he rushed over to me and started demanding that he got answers. I started out by shaking my head for fear that I would look insane while this horrific accident was going on. I was new. I didn't need everyone knowing I had this ability I have. But once his physical body was moved off of the street and into the ambulance, I told him what was going on, that was his body, and unfortunately, he had died in this accident. He was distraught. He told me about his family, that he was only out on a ride, that this wasn't supposed to happen like this. I had to tell him that sadly, it had happened, that he really needed to follow his body to the hospital. The ambulance had left by then, and to be with his family so that he could say the goodbyes he needed to. But I couldn't assist any further. Then he was gone. We left the scene shortly after, since this was now a police matter and we were not to touch anything, and I had to continue on like nothing had happened until I got home to my now husband, who was a great help in keeping me together all these years. The following week, we had a briefing where all of the information that the patient had given me was confirmed about his family, why he was out that late, etc. It made it all the more horrifying, and it made me appreciate life so much more. I know that some people may have questions, and a lot of them usually pertaining to the job and how I handle it. But the upside is it's not always that frequent that a spirit will stick around or want to speak. Sometimes they move on without any fuss. Sometimes they thank us for trying. And rarely is it like that first call. Many years in the service has allowed me to learn about myself and how to handle both physical and metaphysical situations individually, which is how all calls should be. Every person and case matters. Of course, feel free to reach out with anything that you may wonder, but until then, that's my story. Happy spooky season, everyone.
The moment when
Is insane.
The moment when you get pointed at, I know you can hear me.
I know you can hear me. I wonder why. I wonder how he was able to sense that, just because
Yeah.
he's screaming what's going on? What's happening? And she's kind of reacting to him like no one else is looking in his direction, but maybe he caught her glance at him.
So the thing I'm wondering is, did it look like him?
Versus
When
the injuries
when she
you saw.
said no. Does it look like him at all? Is it recognizable to be the same person, right? That's what I'm curious about when she was having this interaction. Because you'd see crash pictures of this
Yeah.
person afterward on the briefing. Did that look like the spirit you talked to, or is it more of an indistinguishable, but you know it's
Yeah.
him obviously because he's referencing the situation at hand?
Yeah. Is it more of just like a white silhouette of a person, like almost
Yeah.
like a chalk outline that's talking to you? Or is it literally a person, but just maybe a little more like see-through? Like, what are you
Right.
getting here?
Especially even when they see the guy down at the bottom of the stairs in the last story. Do
Yeah.
you see more attributes like a jacket and pants, or do you see a
Just a
face?
dark
Because a lot of
figure.
times you have the suspenders and you could see that he was a white guy and you could see that he had a top hat.
Yeah.
I'm imagining the guy saw his face. He looked enough human-like for the guy to think you're walking home with some dude, not that you're walking home with some glowy orb.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Definitely, I think it just depends on the spirit.
well, sure, but it just, I get so curious now. And then she's saying that right then, this guy could have passed on to the other side easily, or when it's a freak accident and unexpected, or when I guess you die and you're very concerned, like this wasn't supposed to happen, my family and this and that.
Yeah.
Then he was right there,
I
right
know.
away, standing over his body. So like,
A lot of people that have had like near-death experiences, though, do talk about that, how they were above their body and watching everything happening. Especially like people that die on the operating table in surgery, they talk about like hovering above their body and
Right.
watching everyone like operate and do CPR and do all this stuff. So I feel like it is like that. I feel like you do maybe zone out and you see and then have to cross. I don't know. It's so interesting. And I'm so curious what all of like the different cultures, like what they think.
well,
Everyone
maybe
tell me
everyone's
what the vibe is.
maybe everyone's just guessing also, right? You know,
Yeah.
until you really get there, you'll never know.
Mhm.
Kind of like the black hole situation.
I know. Do you get
But-
reincarnated?
Right.
Like, are we in a Truman Show and aliens created us in this whole galaxy as like
Or the
we're
egg
little pet
theory.
fish?
The
the egg
egg
theory.
is absolutely terrifying.
I am you and you are me and I am you, but at the same time, and just like I am the same person as everyone else on this planet. Like the egg
and
theory.
you go through every
Ugh.
single life, every single death of all existence in life to then become that supernatural being, but you have to go through all that to gain the perspective and the wisdom for it.
It's crazy.
That is crazy. But so yeah, I just think about that. And I have friends who will have crazy anxiety and some mental health stuff. And they'll say, I sometimes feel like I'm outside my body and I can look down at my body. Not a near-death experience, just something going on inside their mind where they will, without a doubt, say, I was outside my body
Mhm.
and I was looking at myself. I was experiencing this situation not as my body. I was experiencing it from outside, watching it as an outsider. And that to me then starts to play on, well, is there certain things or certain people who can tap into that without really knowing what they're tapping into? A glimpse of that other side, which then does that, lend towards the reincarnation theory that if it is kind of this back and forth, people who are not necessarily having a near-death or death experience can step outside briefly and come back, but they don't know, there's not enough perspective there to know. Maybe it's not as strong as when you're on the operating table and looking down at yourself. Oh man,
I know.
I just get so curious. I just want to know so bad.
I wonder. I don't know. I don't want to find out anytime soon, but
Well, and interesting that she hasn't really ever had the same level of that experience aside from the first one. She's had things similar, but
I mean, her whole life by the sounds of it.
yeah,
Like,
but nothing this.
I've seen spirits and the dead my whole life.
Yeah, but this one seems to be
This was intense.
yeah.
This was really intense and like tragic. Like to come up on that
Yes.
scene and then like he's like in shock. It's so tragic. That it's just like I have a really hard time with death. like all death is just like sad to me, but when people just have like these just accidents that are no fault of their own and they get taken out from someone else's actions, like drunk driving, like that really just shakes me.
And that's the thing. Like, I don't, maybe sometimes it makes you feel better if you attach meaning, but I don't think like it is your time. I think there's just cards dealt and wrong place, wrong time. Sure, you can up your odds or lower your odds of dying, right? If you go skydiving or if you drive a lot versus if you're always staying home, there's different levels of risk.
Yeah.
But since it kind of is part of this whole beyond us, we have no idea. I've never fully been convinced that, oh, it's your time.
No.
I think it's just your time is obviously whenever it happens, but I don't know if it's predetermined,
I don't
preset
think
that
so either.
you're going to die on this day in this way and there's meaning behind it.
No, and that's the thing. Like, I don't think people get sick on purpose and that's how they like, I think there's just like the flukes of the universe and it can just like almost be the butterfly effect or a domino where it's like one choice 30 years ago could have gotten you sick down the line and it's just like, it
You'll never-
just is,
yeah.
you just never know. But no, I don't like thinking negative stuff is like fate. I don't like
No.
that.
But all the negative stuff is what makes life and happy, healthy life so beautiful because you only get so much. You never know how much you have left. So really, really got to just enjoy whatever it is while you're here.
I know. Moving on to this next story. Okay, so this one, the person prefaces it, not really spooky, more chilling. About 6 or 7 years ago, my grandpa passed away, and my grandma put his ashes in a bowling pin. He was a bowler and in one of those bowling leagues. After his passing, my grandma didn't like being alone, and one of our family friends, Melissa, needed a place for her and her kids to stay since they were in a tough situation financially. One night, after my grandma had gone to bed, Melissa was watching TV in the living room. Remote was next to my grandma and grandpa's chair on the other side of the room. And suddenly, the TV flickered off. She didn't think much of it and got up to turn the TV back on when she noticed 2 footprints in the carpet facing my grandma's shut bedroom door. Another night, her son was a toddler and in his room talking to someone. And when my grandma asked who he was talking to, he said, "Grandpa." There were other instances where we would feel a chill in the air. My grandma keeps her house at 75 degrees. Anytime I stayed over, I would have very vivid dreams of my grandpa visiting. The footprints in the carpet outside of my grandma's room happened almost nightly. If you were watching TV too late, the TV would just shut off. And no, we didn't have one of those TV timers for the TV to shut off at a certain time. After 6 months of little things like that happening, my grandma moved my grandpa's ashes outside of the house to a shed. And all of those things stopped.
Put him in the shed.
The shed?
Come on, he's having a good time.
Now
He's stuck in the shed.
He's stuck in the shed now. He gone. He gone. He's in the shed.
And 75 degrees, I'd be dying.
That's so hot.
Oh, I'd be dying.
So
I would cool it
hot.
down, put a heater in her room. But I don't know. I'm like just getting so lost in thought on all these. But, you know,
I can't believe
maybe-
it was such a drastic change in what was happening just from moving the ashes to the shed. And it's like, okay, you moved the ashes to the shed and everything stopped. But is your grandpa now stuck in the shed?
I know.
Like, is he somehow connected to his physical self, even though it's changed forms? It's now
Right.
ash, but like he's still stuck to it to the point where you brought the ashes out and it stopped? Like, what does that mean?
Now you're going to make him real mad.
Well, what if he's just sad and lonely out there?
Yeah.
So what if you brought the ashes back in? Would it start again immediately?
See,
That's what I would want to know.
these are the things we would do. These are the things we're going to do if we ever experience these things. We're going to leave the toy on the track in the basement. We're going to bring the ashes out, sure, see if it stops. If it stops, bring it back in.
You know,
We're going to do science experiments. We're going to start to learn.
I wonder if my mom needs to do this in her house. You remember she called us that one night and she was like, I feel like I'm seeing shadows.
Yes.
And like, I feel like Rod is still here. So my mom's husband, partner of long time, died from colon cancer. Get checked. And after he passed, which he passed in the house, he was hospice in the house. Pretty soon after, my mom like would call us and was like, I'm seeing shadows. Like, I feel like someone's here in the house with us. Like, well, with me, it was just her. And she just kept seeing shadows and like feeling like there was a presence downstairs, especially in that room. We've only stayed there one time since. And like, I can't sleep in that room.
Yeah.
I can't do it. And that used to be the room we stayed in. And now I'm like, nope, can't go in that room.
Yeah.
But like the ashes, she's got his ashes in the house. It's in a really nice urn. And I'm just wondering if she moved the ashes, if she would stop seeing shadow figures and stuff.
I feel like that house has had some energy even before that.
Well, because it's big and it's just like it's just kind of complicated to get around and there's so many hidden little things.
But even
It's a big
still,
house.
it's got something.
You feel it?
Oh yeah.
Huh.
Now that I'm tapped in.
Yeah. Oh, man. You're tapped
But I
in.
like that. I don't know. I kind of would want Grandpa to be back inside. I like because it reminds me of the other guy, making sure that, the TV's off at a certain time, making sure to check in on his wife, who now he can't check in on. The footprints don't appear anymore because he's in the shed.
I know, though, seeing the footprints just like hovering outside the door, like wanting to go in and be with her. But then someone else could be hearing this and being like, no, Morgan, that wasn't Grandpa. That was something a little, I don't know.
Well, then why the pin in why the ashes in the shed and it stops?
I know. Well, I also think the little boy, the little kid.
Kids,
talking.
man.
They're so susceptible. The kid talking and Grandma being like, who are you talking to? And he goes, Grandpa. Yeah, that was Grandpa. I'm not giving any demonic spirit credit for that one. That was definitely Grandpa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is why it'll be fun to have kids, because then hopefully they're tapping in.
I do have a story for Patreon where someone talks about their grandma being tapped in and they're like, I hope my son isn't tapped in and he stays protected.
I mean, what if,
That's on Patreon.
What if you have a kid and it's like one of Matt's kids' ages, right?
Yeah.
Young, but aware. They're starting to be, when a kid goes from being young and not knowing to just slightly aware, where they're like, they start asking questions.
Yeah.
Right in that age, what if you had a kid and they started just confidently saying, yeah, there's this person that runs around the house in the middle of the night, and they come in and they're on the ceiling and they're
we're moving. We're moving.
But just confident, not scared.
Yeah.
And just like, yeah, we hang out every night.
Kids just like that really freaks me out, because it's like you could have your kid that sees ghosts, or you could get a kid that's reincarnated. Like, I watched a video from someone, I think I talked about it recently.
Those, yeah.
And this lady was like, my kid is pissed that they have to go back to school again. He already did this in his other life.
I would be.
He's pissed. He doesn't want to go to school.
I would be pissed
and
about
so
that.
She like kept getting details from him, and he like remembered his family, and he rode horses and blah, blah, like all this crazy shit. So they were like trying to track down his past life and all this stuff. But
yeah, no, that's a nightmare. Imagine going back and starting first grade again right now. Hell no. Oh my God.
I'd love to do high school over.
High school, sure, but
high
to
school
work
and college over.
all the way up, 1 through 12,
That'd
all the way again, all that work,
Billy
college
Madison
again.
did it.
Oh.
He can do it. You know?
Yeah.
I forget. I got to talk to Matt and Amy, my brother and sister-in-law. Eloise kind of was asking questions about a spirit, and there was someone that died in their house. And then when Amy's other grandma died, Eloise was like, I feel her when she died. Eloise was like, I saw Grandma Joyce or something like that. I forget what it was. We're going to have to ask them about it.
Eloise is tapped in.
Eloise might be tapped in.
Oh, all right. She, one day she'll have to sit here and give her takes.
One day. When she can consent to coming on. They always try to sneak in my shots when I'm at their house recording. And I'm like, get out of here. I don't know. That's an interesting thing too. I can't decide what we'll do with like our kids and like showing faces and not showing faces. And
I don't know. Maybe it becomes clearer once
once you have them, I
once
think.
they're here.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. I've got 2 stories for us left.
Yes.
And then we're off to Patreon. Longtime listener and lurker, excited to finally have something to contribute. When I was young, 11, in 1999, my mom and soon-to-be stepfather decided to go to a cabin in the mountains of Cedar City, Utah, for a few days. It was an end-of-the-summer hurrah. The cabin was owned by a friend of the family, but it would only be us attending for this trip. When we arrived, it felt very alone. The trees were thick and the cabin was nice. It was fairly updated and had a small play set and swings near the fire pit in the backyard. We had our big dog with us, and we all played and had fun during the day. That night, we roasted hot dogs and marshmallows in the fire pit, and my stepdad took a photo of us in the dark with flash on our film camera. He told us to point our flashlights at the ground so it did not distort the picture. We went to bed shortly after, and that's when the unease started. My little brother, 5, and I shared a room, and after we heard our parents go to bed, we felt the uneasy, sick feeling. I whispered in the dark across the room to ask him if he was okay. He said, "No, I am not, and don't look out the window." What? I felt it too. I kept my eyes closed and pulled the covers over my head. I felt it in my bones that if I looked out the window, I would be scared to death. Neither of us slept at all that night. As soon as the sun started rising, we quietly went to our parents' room and knocked on the door. They answered and opened it immediately. They were already awake. They hadn't slept either. Silently, the whole family decided to skip breakfast, and we all started loading our bags into the car. We were supposed to be there for 2 more nights, but I think we all felt the dread too. As soon as we got to a bigger road a few miles away, it was as if all the tension had been lifted. We all relaxed and started chatting again as normal. Life goes on, we forget, and nothing happened, so all was fine. Until we developed the camera roll. My mom looked at the pictures first, smiling and getting ready, seeing a deer on the side of the road, playing on the playset during the daylight, and then dusk, and finally, the photo that was taken at night. Me, my mom, and my brother, standing and smiling, our flashlights pointed at the ground, where the light beam hit the dirt and then bounced above our heads in cursive gibberish, seemingly backwards. My mom showed me the funny photo and how strange the light beams did that. I looked at the photo and started sobbing. I looked past the strange cursive at the trees behind us and in the darkness, and I could see faces, not quite human, staring back at us, looking straight at the camera. There was more than we could define in this old film photo, some looking very demonic. My mom flipped out, started crying, showed my stepdad, and he burned the photo and the film. Even now, at 37, writing this out, it brings the sting of tears to my eyes. That feeling in the cabin was horrible at night, and we still don't know exactly what it was. A demon. That is a demon.
So we don't have the photo.
Photo is gone. I had a little question on the form that said, "Do you have any photographic evidence?" I wish all evidence was sadly destroyed. And honestly, I don't think that's very sad. I mean,
not for them.
I feel
for me, I want to see the photo. Are you kidding? After all that?
That sounds horrendous. I wouldn't want to see the photo.
What would they have seen out the window?
I feel like it would have been like something out there looking in the window. Like if they would have made eye contact, they would have like snatched him up or something crazy.
So how did the little 5-year-old say, how did he know to say, don't look out the window?
I think he felt it.
That's what's the scariest part.
Or maybe he like got really scared and like glanced up, saw it, and then was
what
like.
What did he see? That's what I need to know. Where is he at? Because our writer now is 37, 36. So if they were 5, that's 6. They're
30-ish, 31.
They're our age. Where are they at?
What'd your brother see?
Call us up.
I'm also curious if after like this whole thing if your parents talked to their friends, the family friend, whoever's cabin this was, and was like, hey, so
There's things living in
something
the woods.
happened. We experienced some demons, because it wasn't just seeing the faces
Right.
in the trees behind. It was the flashlights bouncing up and creating cursive, which is just giving like demon writing on a wall. Like, you know,
Yeah.
when people get possessed and they write like some old ass Latin that hasn't been spoken and it's like backwards and demonic and shit. That's what that's giving with the light reflecting up.
And imagine how horrifying as a parent after you know, you and I could probably rile each other up and spend the whole night awake scared.
Yeah.
But then the next morning, your kids come and knock on your door.
And you've been awake. Like, your kids hasn't woken you up. Like, it's truly two unrelated things, but everyone's feeling it.
Your little kids.
Yeah.
Even the 5.
Yeah.
Dude, that I think is the moment of, especially then it's reconfirmed also when you see the photo. And how terrifying to think that you were all there happy taking this picture, just having this fun little getaway weekend, and then there's all this in the background. Then you have that experience at night, and then you get to the next major road and you start feeling okay.
Yeah, because the further you get, the less that energy can like get to you. It's kind of one of those things where like people, what is that movie? It's like Amityville Horror or something. Like, family moves into a house and like the dad goes crazy and kills the family or something like that. I do think places can hold such dark, just crazy energy that it latches on you.
So I'll pose a question.
Okay.
And this is more for our friends that are listening right now.
Okay.
Maybe it's nighttime.
Duh.
Maybe it's a dark car, dark room. Maybe
I
you're
hope it's
listening
the
to this.
middle of the day.
Maybe you're listening to this trying to fall asleep and you're alone at home.
No chance. I know you guys wouldn't do that.
I challenge you to peek out your window.
Hell no. Don't do it. Don't
Peek
do
out
it.
your window.
Don't do it.
Confirm that this isn't happening to you right now. Also, is it more scary if you develop that photo and there's all these faces in the woods and they are humans, alive humans, or does it scare you that they're not really human and then you have this night? What is more terrifying?
I think either one, because you didn't see them when you took the photo. It doesn't matter if it's human or demonic. At least it wouldn't matter to me, because it's like either way, dad took the photo and did not see any of that behind him. And then the light bounced up.
Oh, I know.
And,
But I'm just saying, and you know, what is scarier? Just to give everyone that little feeling of the chills.
We're going to have to ask the person who wrote in our final story. This is coming from our paranormal investigator, Jake. Jake shared a couple other experiences from his investigations, and I'm going to read one of them here. The other one's going to go on Patreon. I truly have so many good stories from you guys. Like, again, over 500 and what did I say? 574 on this thread. And if I refreshed it, I'm sure there's new ones. 576. There's so many good stories. I'm going to try to get a lot of them over on Patreon. So come over there. There's one that she kind of gives this little blip. I will preface this story by saying it has creeped out non-believers, so hold tight. Like, we've got so many good stories. And there will be an episode for Father Knows, whether it's just me and Justin, it's going to drop on that channel. Okay, but something's coming. So if you want more spooky, that's where it's going to be.
So this is like Paranormal Activity investigator kind of.
Yeah.
Or The Conjuring when the couple comes in and they.
Yeah. Jake actually did get a chance to meet Lorraine Warren. He had a conversation with her.
Yeah.
And Jake did not send me pictures last time, but I can't show everyone at home, but I can show you. So you'll get an idea of who our investigators are. Okay. I'm going to show you a picture of Jake and his friends, the team of investigators.
Okay. I'm picturing Ghostbusters.
That's Jake.
Okay.
That's who's writing us.
All right.
So you got a face to the name now.
Sure.
Okay. Jake is also the investigator that sent us like one of the craziest stories I think we've read on this podcast about going to that old hotel in Chicago and like having that time slip.
Yes.
That was Jake's investigation.
Yes, where everything was like in the 30s or 20s.
They literally went to go investigate their uncle's haunted hotel because all the workers kept having haunted experiences. And then they walked in and the hotel was like done and remodeled and ready to go. Perfect. He walked out to call Uncle and Uncle was like, "What are you talking about? It's not done yet." And they turned around and everything they had just seen was like gone and it was like a ruin.
Oh, is that different than where they're driving and the time started slipping as they're going down the highway and they went into that town?
Yep, that's a different story.
Okay.
Time slips are crazy. I'll make sure the first spooky one where I read Jake's original story gets linked. Crazy episode. Crazy episode. I read it to Kaylin on one of her episodes of Heart Starts Pounding, and I'm excited to see what people think of it over there. So, this story from Jake. It's got a little bit of a title. It's called The Haunting of Sink Hollow Road. And Jake does give a trigger warning for this story. It does contain mentions of SA. So if you feel that you cannot handle that today, please end the episode here. Come join us over on Patreon. It's going to be a good month over there. And thank you for being a part of this spooky episode and our spooky season.
From two hot takes.
That was good. I like that. Okay. This particular investigation is near and dear to my heart because it illustrates that sometimes when things seem redundant or ordinary, there's a world of complexities buried beneath it. During the early days and the formation of our team, we would take pretty much any lead that we could and figured that getting out there in the field would benefit us. There was a local legend about a bridge on a road known as Sink Hollow. The local legend seemed quite gimmicky and followed a similar structure to a lot of other low-effort tall tales. Simple formula, but we had nothing to lose, so we figured why not? 1. Drive out to the bridge. 2. Park your car and turn off the engine. 3. Turn your headlights on 3 times while everyone in the car invited something to be seen. 4. At this point in the local legend, it was stated that you would see a ghostly apparition. We couldn't find any actual accounts of anyone seeing anything other than hearsay, and this follows a very predictable pattern with young kids going out into the country and scaring themselves. But again, for the sake of brevity, we decided, why not? If my memory serves correctly, it was a brisk and damp early morning at the beginning of fall. Somewhere between the hours of Saturday night and Sunday morning, we ventured out, along with Derek and Eric, my teammates from the previous story that would be the base of our team moving forward from this point. We arrived at the bridge, and the road itself is very difficult to get to as you have to drive through several winding gravel roads to get to the bridge that spans a small creek running through the middle of a field. As far as we can tell, the bridge was mostly used for farm field access and other locals getting from point A to point B quickly, as it is not a bridge that would be traversed often, being quite a ways away from any paved roads. We arrived at the bridge and joked about how there would be many more encounters like this to come, where it would be more road trip than actual encounter. We jokingly completed the mock ritual and then sat. To absolutely no one's surprise, nothing happened. No one was disappointed as we knew that the gimmick was just that, so instead we got out of the car, grabbed a few beverages, and sat on the hood of the car while we talked about our lives and our goals for the group. We talked about why we were drawn to things like this and why we even came out here, as strange and as unlikely as it was that anything would happen. For me, I've always seen things from a young age that I couldn't comprehend, so I feel like the pull for me was obvious. My friend Derek was the thrill seeker of the group. Any chance he could get to have some sort of excitement, he would chase it. While he had never seen anything that he couldn't explain up until this point, he was a good sport about it. Lastly, we had Eric. Eric was just kind of built different. He was a staunch critic and skeptic. However, he felt the allure and draw of the possibility of seeing something that he didn't understand. He loved to put himself in circumstances that it was hard for him to justify logically. He enjoyed the mental puzzle of the investigation that went on. He was also one of the most fearless people I've ever met. When everybody was on the edge and creeped out when he heard a noise or something that he couldn't explain, he would run to the potential danger. We'd all been friends for some time, but only previously a week prior had decided to embark on this journey together by forming this team. A few drinks down, and we've lost sight of the investigation altogether, and we're just some Midwest kids hanging out on a Saturday night. When we first heard a voice off in the distance, we thought it may be a really loud radio traveling from one of the far-off roads, but we were quite a ways away. It was also very obvious to hear any types of cars or vehicles approaching due to the crunching of the gravel, and there was none. The voice got louder, and this time was crystal clear. Quote, "Hey, what are you all doing out here?" The sudden, clear tone of the voice made us scramble, as at the time, we shouldn't have been out there doing what we were doing, drinking, LOL. After a few seconds of jumping down off the hood and scrambling about, we heard the voice again. "Hey, I'm not trying to scare you at all. I just want to know what you're doing out here." Eric turns towards the direction of the voice and said something along the lines of, "We're out here investigating a local legend. What about you?" We all sighed a collective breath of relief when a younger girl, about the age of 13, came into the view of the headlights. She had freckles all over her face and strawberry blonde pigtails, comically similar to what you would picture the Wendy's logo to look like, complete with overalls. After seeing her age and seeing that we were kind of in the middle of nowhere, we asked her who she was and if she needed help, as it was kind of strange for a 13-year-old girl to be out there all alone. She explained that she lives not too far from here and that despite people driving through here often, this is private property. She pointed to a dark silhouette on the horizon. She had explained that she saw our headlights, and after they had blinked a few times, she was worried that we were in trouble, so she came to check. We explained the absurdity of the local legend to her, and she looked quite perplexed and thought that it was silly that we would come out here in the middle of the night to test something so far-fetched. In this moment, we felt quite silly ourselves. She stayed polite, but after a few moments, she reiterated that it was private property and that we really should be leaving, as we are technically trespassing. We started the process of packing up a few things that we had gotten out of the car and let her know that we'd be on our way, and asked her if she would like a ride back to her house. She calmly explained that while it was sweet to offer, we really should be going and that her father has a really bad temper and does not take kindly to strangers on his property. She mentioned that while she had never heard the local legend, her daddy, the exact words that she called him, would often have to chase away strangers in the middle of the night, and his patience was wearing thin. And with one final warning, she said, quote, "Please leave before Daddy comes out. You may regret it." We got into the car and quickly drove away, seeing her slowly walk off the side of the road near the bridge into the glow of our taillights until she was out of view. The rest of the ride home was rather uneventful. However, something about the encounter struck us all as strange. There was something weird about it that we couldn't quite put a finger on, other than the obvious fact that a 13-year-old girl was out in the middle of a field by a creek at night, all by herself. We go back to the house that we were sharing. Me and Eric decided to turn in for the night. However, Derek could not let it rest and decided to do some internet sleuthing. We woke up the next morning to see him asleep on the couch with his laptop open. After waking him up and asking him if he had found anything, he jolted awake and showed us an old newspaper clipping from an internet archive. In the newspaper article was a picture of the girl that we had spoken with last night. However, the clipping was dated 1963. The context of the article was difficult to read. Quote, "Local girl found dead in creek." The article went on to describe that a quick investigation revealed a family secret. The young girl, whose name was Emily, had been repeatedly sexually assaulted by a family member, her dad, and one night she attempted to escape, at which point her father tracked her down and drowned her while she was hiding under the bridge. as per our other stories that you've heard from us, I do believe that there is a lesson. I believe the paranormal hauntings can exist for the sake of saturation in human suffering, but I do believe that this girl's spirit watched over this bridge to warn people of her father. The trauma might have bonded her spirit to the area, but the kindness of her persevered on, and we believe that is what we interacted with that night. An act of kindness in the dark on a lonely bridge on a lonely road.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Whew. Sad. It's like so sad. I'm just like teary-eyed reading it.
Well, it's just also just so scary. See, if I were Derek,
Yeah, who found the internet search?
I would have ran into the rooms and been like,
Get your asses up.
oh my God, I don't think I would have fallen asleep after finding that. But I guess you've
know.
been up all night, but still like,
It probably took him forever. I mean, I tried doing a Google search trying to find anything from like all the buzzwords I have in this write-in. And I mean, I'm not finding anything. Like it probably took going through that local newspaper's archives online and like really trying to find something. It's crazy. I can't even picture encountering such a clear apparition that way and for such a long duration. I am like a little jealous of Jake, even though I don't really want to have an experience again. I am a little jealous that like a lot of the experiences we've read from him have been so real and like all encompassing. Like the time slip to go back to that hotel in Chicago and be walking through the ballroom and to be seeing waiters and a bellhop and like all of these people in this grand hotel.
yeah.
And then you get out and it's gone. That didn't happen, but yet it did. It just was like it was a slip. And then for this girl to like present herself and you have such a clear form and she's just so focused on like, hey, like not trying to scare you guys, but like you should get out of here. It's private property. I don't want my dad to get mad. Like my dad's got a temper. Like go, you should be safe. Go. Like she's so clear and so focused on keeping them safe.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I don't know what I believe and why some spirits stay and why some are able to send signs, and I don't know. It's really interesting. And I do just want to say, like, if you've asked your family member for a sign and you haven't gotten it yet, it doesn't mean that you're not gonna get one. It just might not be the right time. Or hey, maybe they've tried to push a cup off the table and you just walked away and you didn't see it yet. Like, I do want you, if you're waiting for something, to like not get discouraged that it hasn't happened yet. Because I know a lot of people do like wait for the sign. They wait for the butterfly. They wait for, something to happen. And I don't want anyone to get discouraged and sad that it hasn't happened to them.
Sure.
But back to this one. That was a blip in my head that I've wanted to say since a story earlier, and I finally got it out.
I wonder, my first thought is, did you go back?
I know.
Because I would be so curious to go back, and maybe you even bring someone that's not part of the three of you.
Mm-hmm.
Bring a fourth person to say, hey, are we absolutely crazy or is this happening? Because what I would think is you go back and you hang out and you spend some time there. If she comes back out and says, why did you come back? That would be absolutely wild. And like, the next time I go back, I'd have a dash cam.
I know. I wonder if you would even...
Or do they just not, when they know there's an intention to record and when whatever, is it just...
I don't know.
Because like Paranormal Activity is a movie, right?
Yeah.
And all these people who try to capture these things, it's movies. It's not... I mean, we've had some clips. We've had
clips. I mean, the duck one is really like, that one for me is like very like, that's real. I mean, the blink camera, that felt real.
I think of the ring toss one, the ring onto the wall, and then the girl turns.
And that was recorded by someone you know. And like there was no little girl in that house. Like we've talked about that video on a past episode
when we scroll through it so much,
it's so creepy. Like Justin knows a girl who had some friends in New York and they were playing like this ring game, and you like let the ring go and it goes onto a hook. It's like the ring is on a pendulum string. and you pull it back and it hooks.
It's at bars usually.
It's at bars. There's mini versions. And as they're playing, they're recording themselves playing. And in the background of the video, like a little girl in a Victorian dress walks by.
No,
And
she
no one else was
turns and
there.
goes down the hallway, and you can clearly see.
Yeah, you clearly see this little girl, little person.
And this is before AI.
Yeah, this was well before AI was out. And granted, there's technology that could have done it, but like there's stuff
Why?
like that.
What would the purpose have been, right?
No, I know. And because it's someone like it's that much more believable. But I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of at a loss with all these paranormal stories, and I've got more episodes, more crazy stories. I took a sneak peek at Jake's other story we have, and it's about this haunted farm. He gave me the real name. However, I can't share the real name because the owner of the farm doesn't want any public like recognition anymore. He's kind of like shutting the doors.
Yeah.
But if you Google the name of the farm, it is like it comes up and multiple people share experiences on this farm. So we have Jake's investigation story. So that's going over to Patreon.
Speaking of farms, we were just home for months setting up the wedding venue. And I spent many late, dark, foggy nights up by myself.
Oh, I know.
Where once it get dark, I'd run all the cords up to run my work lights up. And I'd be up there for hours by myself, just hanging chandeliers or whatever I was getting
the
into.
tent ready.
And one night I was walking up to put the lights out. And as you're walking up with the lights, they're obviously not on yet.
It's pitch black.
Because you can barely, you got to make sure you're not tripping.
You can't see anything in front of you. Like it is pitch black.
And so I was just going far enough to where I could connect the next wire. And perfectly audible, because out there, unless cars combined, it's just like
it's white noise.
But there's no other noise. You don't hear anything. And because it was almost misting.
Yeah, from the dew point, it was like.
So it's misting, it's cloudy, and there's woods. It's silent. It's all natural soundproofing. And as clear as it could audibly be, I heard the equivalent to my left in where the trees were of I can only describe it as like a Joker laugh.
Like a manic laugh. Like it was like really really scary laugh.
Like a creepy clown laugh from like It.
Ugh.
And it was directly out my left ear, directly over that way. And I don't know. There was nothing. I didn't hear any other noises like that the whole time I was out there working for hours and hours. So I don't know. But I heard it.
It's so scary.
So clear. Couldn't be like a mental trick because of how real it was. And I turned around, and after I got the lights actually up, I walked back down. I said, have you guys heard anything?
Yeah, because me and my mom were in the barn working.
You were setting up chandeliers or something.
Yeah, it wasn't us messing with you. We didn't hear anything.
No, it was away from you guys. So
it's so scary.
It's like you're like, not the farm.
I know, not my happy place. God, if you guys have any paranormal stories to share, please put them in the comments of this YouTube account or on our Instagram post for the episode. I love reading your stories. And there were so many amazing stories over on the episode I did with Kaylin. Like, I want to read so many of them. Like, they were incredible. Like, they were such incredible, heartwarming comments. And I'm going to read a few to just end this episode because there's so many good ones. This one is coming from Mads 2013. My grandfather died after a battle with pancreatic cancer and always said that he'd come back as a dolphin. His ashes are kept in a beautiful brass dolphin urn. Then, a year later, my sister was getting married on the beach when right in the middle of the ceremony, a dolphin came into the shallows and stayed there until the ceremony was done. I have no doubt that was him. This is coming from Savannah. One of my best friends passed away March 12th. I was making some meals for his dad, food equals comfort, and I was taking the last thing out of the oven when my husband got a call from the sheriff's office that someone had turned in his wallet from 6 years ago with all the money still in it, a little over $100. Same amount of money I spent on getting these meals together for Taylor's dad.
It's so crazy.
I firmly believe that was him saying thank you for thinking of his dad during this time.
See, these are the signs that feel more direct, like the dolphin thing, where it's harder to brush it off. And that's what I think we're talking about. Those are the signs that you kind of seek and hope for.
This is from EJ1709. My aunt died, and on the first year anniversary of her death, we visited her memorial. A dog comes running in and greets my mom. The owner starts yelling, "Nola," which was my aunt's name, a pretty uncommon name where we live. We knew in that moment she was letting us know that she was still here, even if we couldn't always see her.
Just took control of the dog.
I know. There's so many crazy comments. I mean, someone comments like that they know that one story with the time slip going through the bridge in that old-timey town is real. Like they've been there. It's super haunted.
Okay. That one I've never forgotten. I think about all the time. I think we have to go.
I don't want to go to Copperton, Utah. I'm out.
We'll do it for the spooky episode of 2026.
It's crazy. It's so crazy.
Take you guys on the road with us.
I don't know if I can do it. Like, I joked with Kaylin that I would go to this haunted sanatorium, and like, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know. I don't know.
I'll go.
We've got a lot of people sharing stories about losing someone and like butterflies being a sign, which I love. Like, I love butterflies. There's a write in here from Lady Finch. I was in a very bad domestic situation for many years and was basically held captive for days. Around the second day, I would hear a voice tell me things, to pay attention, to like footsteps, to count until I heard the door, etc. I was in and out of consciousness due to some of the things I was being put through, but on the third, maybe fourth day, I heard, quote, "Open door, then take 35 steps, open front door, and run. You can do this." I was able to escape, and this voice saved my life. I always thought the voice sounded like my great-grandmother, but was just something I made up in my mind to help deal with the trauma. But you guys talking about the third man gave me the chills. Thank you for the clarity. Ugh.
Wow.
I know. There's so many good comments from you guys on this episode with Kaylin, and I've read so many of them. Someone else shared a story like that their dad had sleep apnea, didn't get his CPAP, and he had a night where he was deep in sleep but knew he stopped breathing. He swears he heard my mom yell his name. She had passed a year prior. There's so many of these.
It's the yell the name ones.
Yeah.
There's
so many good stories. And
that's horrifying.
I cannot share the link for my Google form unless I do some work and to like delete emails and all this stuff. So if you've got a story, please share them in the YouTube comments. I go through all of these stories. Like I really appreciate you guys sharing. And so many of them clearly other people see because they're super liked and all of this. So share your stories if you have them. But it's all I got for this paranormal episode. It was a doozy. I feel like I'm going to have to sleep with a nightlight on tonight.
Yeah, we're going to have some interesting dreams tonight.
We're headed over to Patreon. It's going to be a really good month over there. And this will be in the middle tier. The spooky episode will be in the mid tier. So not the top tier, but it's the mid tier. So you get 2 episodes if you come join us. This and another one. So I'll see you guys over there. But thank you so much for being here. Another spooky season. Until next time.
Until next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.